Start na po tayo sa judicial department to. So, unahin po muna natin to and then yung legislative at saka executive, no? Tatapusin natin siya saka pala yung constitutional commissions. Munti ko nang makalimutan, no? So, let's continue, no? Let's continue with our discussion. So, sa judicial department po, sa 6, 7, 8, ito ang pinakamaiksi sa lahat. Ito ang pinakamaiksi sa lahat na provisions, no? Pero sa judicial department po, almost every year, may lumalabas na bar question. At ano yan, no? Pwedeng sa judicial review, pwedeng sa judicial power. Normally, dyan po lumalabas yung bar question. Saan pa pwedeng lumabas, no? Sa powers of the judiciary. Yung specifically yung rulemaking power. Why? Kasi ulitin ko ulit no, sa previous discussions natin, yung pong doctrine of separation of powers, magagrasp nyo lang talaga yan if you know the powers of each department. And that department includes judicial department. So, anong power nila? They have the rulemaking power, di ba? So, we will tackle this later on. Pag pinakailaman niya ng other branches, that is a violation of the doctrine of separation of powers. That's how it goes. Okay? Anyway, sige, let's continue. Let's start na dito sa judicial department. No? So, tandaan nyo, iba po ang judicial power at saka judicial review. What is judicial power? Yan po yung nasa section 1 Article 8, no? Yung judicial power includes a duty, no? Tandaan nyo, hindi siya discretion. It's the duty, obligation of the courts to settle actual controversies. Ito yung traditional concept. Ito po yung mga usual na kaso. Actual controversy involving rights which are legally demandable and enforceable. So, yun yung mga legal civil cases. You get the point. Kaya traditional concept ang nakalagay dyan sa notes natin. And, ito yung pwedeng paglabasan ng tanong lagi naman no? To determine whether or not there has been grave abuse of discretion on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. Ito yung expanded concept of expanded certiorari na tinatawag. So, alam naman natin na ang grave abuse of discretion ngayon pag mag-expanded certiorari tayo, hindi lang po siya limited sa court, judge, justice, hindi po siya limited sa tribunals, basically. Any branch or instrumentality of the government, pwedeng magkaroon ng grave abuse. So, pwedeng maanal, pwedeng held unconstitutional yung batas, no? O yung regulation o yung order na pinasa, no? Okay. So, who exercises judicial power? I think okay na to, no? Uh, it shall be vested in one Supreme Court and in such lower courts as may be established by law. By the way, maganda na kayong matakil, no? Supreme Court po is a court created by the Constitution. While the other courts, Sandigan Bayan, Court of Appeals, they are created by law. Since these other courts, since these lower courts are created by law, their jurisdiction can also be changed by law, altered by law, okay, amended by law, repealed by law. Pwede mo. Meanwhile, ang Supreme Court po, the Congress cannot change, no? Yung jurisdiction ng Supreme Court, yung appellate jurisdiction niya specifically, kasi nasa Constitution po siya, no? Yung, well, wag natin sabihin ano pala, wag natin sabihin appellate. Lahat ng jurisdiction ng Supreme Court sa mga kaso, hindi pwedeng baguhin ng Congress kasi nga nasa Constitution po yung jurisdiction nila. Okay? Sige. Next, ito po, no? Ito yung baka tanayin kayo, no? Basic lang, no? Is the Chief Justice. No? Parang, how do you say this? Ito na yun. Anyway, primus inter pares na to. The Chief Justice is primus inter pares. He cannot legally decide overturn a case on his own. Ibig lang sabihin nito, when, alam niyo naman to, when the justices decide, di ba, one lang talaga ang bilang ng lahat. Whether senior associate justice, whether kaka-appoint lang as Supreme Court Justice, or whether Chief Justice. Pakipareho lang sila ng boto. It's just that the Chief Justice is the first among equals. Siyempre, siya yung chief, no? Pero, same lang po ang boto. Okay, ito na tayo, no? Bago natin itakil ang judicial review, gusto kong i-correlate po judicial review at saka judicial power. Ano po ang pagkakaiba? Okay. Tandaan nyo, ang judicial review, it comes in if you want to determine if the court will hear the petition. Hindi po natin dinedecide kung ma-strike down ba yung law o yung order o hindi ma-strike down. Hindi pa po doon. Pag sinabi nyo judicial review, ang tinatake lang natin is, can we hear the petition? Pag sinabi mong judicial power, yung second concept na to, itong to determine whether or not there has been grave abuse of discretion, ito na po, yung reason natin kung ba't natin i-strike o hindi natin i-strike yung law, yung provision. Okay? So, yun po yun. Sinabi yung judicial review, yung four requisites dyan, di ba, actual case or controversy, locus standi, earliest possible opportunity sa kalismota. Lahat po yan, we're just determining if dapat bang i-hear ng court yung kaso or wag mo nang i-hear. Okay? Judicial power, didetermine na natin kung dapat bang i-uphold o hindi. Okay, so let's start na sa judicial review po. No? So may four requisites, no? Actual case or controversy, locus standi, earliest possible opportunity, and lis mota. Okay. We will clarify this further. Pero tandaan nyo, sa bar exam, ang normal po na tanong sa first two. Okay, so you need to state, every time matatanong po judicial review, you need to state the four. Patandaan nyo, normally lumalabas po ang tanong sa first two. Why? Kasi yun naman talaga yung contentious dyan eh. May legal standing ba ito para mag-file? Okay? So naman, may actual case ba in the first place? So, when is there an actual case? Okay? Ito medyo ano to, hollow, parang medyo abstract siya na definition, pero let's just state it, no? Ito naman po, no, pag sa actual case or controversy, you need to state this, but at the same time, kailangan mo lang naman i-analyze, you need to use your common sense kung may actual case ba o wala. Parang ano eh, no? Kung pag nabasa nyo tong definition na to, kailangan siya obligated ka to state this sa bar. Siyempre, yan ang meaning eh. Diba? Kaya lang ulitin ko, when you analyze, hindi nyo naman kailangan ano to hindi kailangan hardcore na gamitin nyo itong patayan yung definition na yan para malaman nyo kung may actual case or controversy pa. Ang kailangan nyo common sense. Anyway, sige, let's move, no? There is an actual case or controversy if an actual case or controversy is a controversy that involves a conflict of legal rights, opposite legal claims susceptible of judicial resolution. So, conflict of legal rights, basically any conflict. Okay, basta may conflict na assertion of opposite legal claims, meron ng actual case, no? It cannot be conjectural or anticipatory. Sabi ko nga, no, opinion ko lang, mas maganda nga ito eh. Ito, definition na to. An actual case or controversy is a case or controversy that is not conjectural, that is not anticipatory, that does not resolve hypothetical cases or cases based on assumptions or cases which seeks, no, the rendering of advisory opinions. By the way, mabanggit ko na rin dito. Tandaan nyo, nakalagay din sa syllabus nyo, no, advisory opinions. Tandaan nyo, the court does not render advisory opinions. So, taka lang meron na kayong brief preview o small preview, no? Ang nag-render, ang talaga po nag-advisory opinions, mababanggit yan normally sa international law, yung International Court of Justice. Nag-advisory opinions po. Pero ang Supreme Court natin, no. Ang Supreme Court natin, decisions, resolutions, mga ganyan lang. Okay? Dapat may contention. Kung advisory opinion, how would you answer that? Ito papasok, sabihin nyo, the, sabihin natin, ang hingi ng advisory opinion yung petitioner, no? The petition must be dismissed because there was no actual case or controversy. Yan. Okay, so yun ang si panimala nyo. Tapos lalagay nyo, case law dictates that. Ito yung legal basis. There are four requisites, no, for judicial review. Actual case or controversy, locus standi, blah, blah, blah. For actual case or controversy, there is actual, the controversy must involve a conflict of legal rights, blah, blah, blah. The controversy cannot be conjectural, anticipatory, or a case which seeks the rendering of advisory opinions. Ganon yung babanatan. And then here, the petitioner sought the advisory opinion of the Supreme Court. Thus, the petition must be dismissed because there was no actual case or controversy. Judicial review is not warranted because the court does not render advisory opinions. Ganon ang approach. Okay? Tandaan nyo lang to, no? Okay, sige. Okay na yan yung ripeness, no? Okay. Ito po ang kapatid, no, ng actual case or controversy. Ano yung flip side niya? Merong actual case or controversy pero naging moot and academic. Ayan na tayo, no? Basic, para hindi kayo nalilito, no? Yung actual case or controversy na yan, at saka yung lagi naman nababanggit yung moot or academic na yan, even in your discussions, in your recitations, lagi nababanggit siya. Saan niyo ba siya ipapasok sa utak niyo basically? If you want to organize things, if you want to order, if you want to make an order of things, kasi nga po ang consti, it's more about memory work. Di ba? Consti 1, consti 2 is analysis. No? Ilang beses ko na sinasabi. Kailangan lang po para ma-memorize nyo, para maintindihan nyo lahat, hindi naman po ito hardcore na analysis, no, unlike Consi 2. Ang kailangan nyo gawin, ma-order nyo ng tama yung mga bagay. You need to organize things well. Like itong moot or academic na to, no, nag-aaral pa po ako no, nung nasa law school pa ako, nung nagbabar ako, nung bar season, iniisip ko paano ka ba siyang merge everything, no? Para meron siya parang isang order lang na iisipin ko, andito to, andito to, andito to. Ganun lang naman eh. You need to parang complete the puzzle. Hindi pwedeng fragmented kasi pag fragmented, mas mahirap pong mag-memorize. Pag fragmented, hindi mo alam kung saan ka huhugot. So yan, kaya po binubuo natin siya ng isang structure talaga. So tandaan nyo, ang moot or academic, kapatid siya ng actual case or controversy. Because has, even if there was an actual case or controversy, if it is already moot or academic, the as a general rule, the petition will be dismissed and the court will not resolve the issue anymore kasi moot na siya or academic. In other words, useless na. Ayan na, nakalagay no practical value. Okay. So anyway, pag i-define nyo, what is a moot or academic issue? A moot and academic issue or case is one that ceases to present a justiciable controversy because of supervening events. Dahil sa mga nangyaring susunod na kabanata. Okay? Okay, so nakita niyo, di ba? Ceases to present a justiciable controversy. That means there was a justiciable controversy before. Meron pong actual case or controversy before, but it ceased due to some reason, due to some events. Okay, so dati meron, nawala dahil sa mga susunod na kabanata. O, di ba? Rhyming pa yung sinabi ko, quotable quote pa. Okay, so if there was never an actual case or controversy, hindi po mag-a-apply yung moot or academic case na yan kasi there was never a case in the first place. Yun lang ang point ko. Okay. So, ano pa yung mga exceptions ito, no? What are the exceptions? Dapat pala hindi ko nilagay dito. Dapat sa taas ko to nilagay. Anyway, pwede na rin dito. Sige. Okay na dyan yan. Ah, okay. Bago na naman ako naisip. Ganito na lang. Yan. Dito na natin ilagay. Yun. Yan. Minyahan natin yan. Okay. Sige. What are the exceptions to na kahit na moot or academic na ang isang issue dahil po sabihin natin, hindi na siya kailangang i-resolve at tapos na. O yung ina-assail na order, regulation, rule, law, wala na, no? Hindi na po mabisa. Ano po ang mga exceptions kung saan moot or academic na issue, moot or academic na case, but the court will still resolve that issue, that case? Dapat, grave violation of the Constitution, paramount public interest, guide the bench, the bar, and the public, and it is capable of repeating yet evading review. Ito po, no, tandaan nyo, itong tatlo na to, sa akin lang na, ano po ito, no, mahirap matanong sa bar. Why? Kasi po, anyway, hindi pala, itong dalawa lang pala, 2 and 3. Yung palang 1, well, this is obvious. You need to check the Constitution, no? What provision was violated in the Constitution. So, pag mayroon talagang grave violation, case basis yan, whatever is grave, no? Pwede pa rin i-resolve. Ito po ang point ko, yung 2 at saka 3. This is more of parang discretion ng Supreme Court. Eh. Sige, paramount public interest. Di ba? I-resolve natin kahit na motor academic na. Pag po yung mga ganyan salita, paramount public interest. Relax the rules. Di ba? Pag remedial law. For justice. For paramount public interest, he will relax. Di ba? The rules. Mga ganyan. Supreme Court lang po ang may discretion na gumawa niyan. Di ba? Sa akin lang naman, no? So, pag natanong po tayo dito, hindi naman ata kayo tatanungin na parang, sa Supreme Court Justice. Hindi naman ata kayo tatanungin ng ganun eh. Baka kung matatanong man tayo sa bar, if you were the judge, di ba? Trial court judge. Pero never pa ako nakakita po ng bar question na naging Supreme Court Justice yung position mo. Sa Supreme Court Justice, wala ata akong na anong ganun eh. Kaya ang mindset ko po, no, sa bar, to make it simple, pag yung mga paramount public interest to guide the bench, the bar, and the public, these are things na sinasabi ng Supreme Court kapag they want to resolve an issue that was already moot and academic, but they want to parang relax, no? O sige, kahit na moot and academic na, dahil po sa public interest o para matulungan namin ang ibang mga judges, guide the bench, imaginein mo, Supreme Court Justice ka talaga. You are guiding the other officers, di ba? The bar, o di ba? Lahat ng abogado sa Pilipinas and ang publiko. These are parang ano, these are ideas, 'di ba? Concepts to na pang Supreme Court. Kaya para sa akin, relax lang kayo diyan, no? Pag ipina-enumerate sa inyo, saka nyo kailangan sabihin yan. Pero kung sa hypothetical questions, mahirap po talaga siya lumabas. Which leads me to my point. Itakil natin yung number 4. Ito pwede. It is capable of repeating yet evading review. Ano pa ibig sabihin nun? Yan po pala isa ring tip no sa Consti. Anyway, hindi po siya kasing grabe ng ano ng mga ang pinakamatindi talaga sa requisites elements, alang tatalo, criminal law. Walang tatalo diyan. Kasi puro elements talaga 'yun, di ba? Ang tip ko lang po no, pag ganyan magkakabisa kayo ng elements, so magkakabisa kayo ng exceptions, ng requisites, kailangan yung each line, each item do sa requisites, sa exceptions, sa elements, requisites, requirements, conditions, exceptions, no? Exemptions, okay, okay, mga yan. Kailangan po alam niyo each item. You need to understand each item. Hindi pwedeng i-memorize siya lang. Okay, capable of repeating it, evading review. Ang dali niya kabisaduhin. Repeating, evading, quotable quotes, ano pa, yung rhyming pa. Madali siyang alalahanin. Hindi po gano'n, no? That's ano, parang aral po siya ng beginner. Aral siya ng, ano, sasagot ng multiple choice. Di ba? Pero hindi, sasagot ka ng essay. Pag essay ang sagutan, hindi ka makakalusot diyan, 'di ba? Hindi pwedeng ikakabesaduhin mo lang yung something tapos okay na. Sa multiple choice pwede 'yan. Pwede 'yan, no? Kasi baka ganun naman sa multiple choice, no? Parang the following are the exceptions, no? To the moot and academic concept, something. Case concept under the Constitution, except mga ganyan lang naman yun, di ba? A, grave violation of the Constitution, paramount public interest, and so on. Ganun lang po ang dialogue kapag multiple choice. Pero essay ito eh. If you don't know, you don't know. That's why it's your duty, it's your obligation, parang judicial power to understand everything. So, what is capable of repeating yet evading review? May dalawang elements. Evading, repeating. How is an issue evading? Ibig sabihin, tumatakas. O, ayan. Bakit? Because the challenge action happened in too short of a time. O, ayan. Ito, duration too short. Ako, mas pinasimple ko. The action, the order, the challenge action happened in too short of a time. Okay? To be fully litigated upon prior to the cessation of this action. In Tagalog, yung act, masyadong maiksi para ma-resolve po ng court bago po matapos yung act. Ayan. Okay? Hindi pa na-resolve ng korte, natapos na yung act, na-file ng petition. Kasi illegal daw. Okay. Repeating. Ito mas important. Hindi po evading, no? No, mas important po yung repeating. Alam niyo kung bakit? If the case was not, tinan niyo kung yung issue hindi evading, wala tayong problema. Bakit? Kasi actual case or controversy pa din eh. 'Di ba? Hindi naman nag-evade. Andiyan pa rin. O di hindi tayo magkaka-problem doon, 'di ba? So gagawin po tayo, dapat ganun kasi tayo mag-isip eh. Anyway, magiget nyo rin po ito pag medyo ready na rin kayo to take the bar, no? Kasi ito yung next step. Mape-predict nyo na sa sarili nyo, without me, without my support, mape-predict nyo na kung paano po kayo tatanungin. Okay, ayan. Hindi kayo pwedeng tanungin na sa bar na kung tatanungin kayo ng moot and academic tapos capable of repeating yet evading review, yet the facts state na meron pa ring meron pa ring issue. 'Di ba? Kung meron pa ring issue, paano naging moot? It's not moot, 'di ba? Kaya po, magiging tanong sa inyo, actually, evading talaga. Yun ang point ko. Evading talaga siya. Kasi that's how you will be tested kung get nyo talaga yung moot in academic at saka yung kanyang mga exceptions. Nawala ng bigla, hindi pa na-resolve ng court kasi nagde-deliberate pa, inabot na 1 taon yung deliberation, natapos na yung action that we will have to resolve. O, di ganun ang facts. Di ba? O now you resolve it. You, sabihin natin, assuming lang, no? Dapat ba i-resolve pa o hindi na? Yan. So, saan po lalabas ang tanong? Malamang sa repeating. Uulit ba to in the future? Is there reasonable? Tandaan nyo to, reasonable. No? Mahilig ako sa adjectives kasi yun ang pinakamahalaga. Too short. Reasonable. Repeating. Evading. Grave violation. Interest. Public interest. Mahilig ako sa adjective kasi yan talaga, ilang beses ko sinasabi to, diyan po nagkakatalo lagi sa elements, requisites, exceptions, dun sa adjective. So, may reasonable expectation tayo that this action will again appear in the future. Okay, so napaka-casual yung sinabi ko that will appear. Ito yung sabi sa kaso ng Philippine Association versus Comelec. Reasonable expectation that the same petitioner would be subjected to the same action in the future. So una, masyado maigsi nangyari, hindi na-resolve ng court. Natapos na yung pangyayari. Pangalawa, may reasonable expectation na mangyayari ulit to in the future, basically. So, gawa natin na examples, no? Napakadaling i-mention sa inyo nung elements na yan, nung factors, napakadali. No? Pero ang kailangan nyo talaga as bar takers, tandaan natin, ang kailangan nyo talaga as law students, as bar takers, as aspiring lawyers, ang kailangan nyo context. No? Kasi yan, sabihin natin, no? You can get this anywhere. No? And if I will just repeat this to you, no? Ito nga din ang hinihingi ko sana, no? Sa lahat, sana, no? You can get this anywhere. Pag sinabi ko lang sa inyo yan, it's just para lang ako anong tawag dito? Naging lang akong parang microphone. 'Di ba? Basically, sinabi ko lang sa inyo kung ano yung nabasa nyo na sa ibang mga books, sa ibang mga reviewers, sa ibang mga materials. That's not my job. My job is to give you context. Kaya po, alam niyo, nilalagay ko itong mga ganito. Kasi kaya nga i-delete ko na yan eh. Nakapansin nyo, kasi makikita nyo rin naman sa iba to. Probably nabasa nyo na rin to sa books nyo. Before, no, nung law student pa tayo, sa Polyrev at saka sa Consti 1. Or Consti 2 kung nasa Consti 2 na tayo, di ba? First year. Nabasa nyo na to lahat, no? Ang kailangan lang talaga ng bar taker kasi especially kung medyo technical yung topic, ang kailangan nila, paano nila magiget? How can they get this in the simplest way possible para ma-apply nila sa bar? Kaya po ang hinihingi, ang talagang ibinibigay dapat sa inyo, no, napansin ko lang sa mga bar takers na gusto ko talaga ma-implement in full scale sa lahat ng subjects. Ito talaga ang hinihingi nyo lagi. Kasi alam ko ito ang lacking sa mga notes. Yan. Analysis, context, examples, illustrations. Ito lang po talaga. This, aside from aside from the way I lecture na, alam niyo na, taglish ako, I don't make it so hard for you. 'Di ba? I make it casual para hindi rin po kayo na-overload masyado. Aside from that, ang kailangan po talaga ito. Dito po nagkakatalo talaga sa examples. At dito natin makikita kung anong tawag doon, yung mag-resonate ba yung sinasabi natin dun sa nakikinig sa atin, sa nanonood sa atin. That's why talagang mahilig po, proponent po ako ng examples, especially kung mahirap yung topic. Like ito, capable of evading yet repeating review. Ang daling sabihin. But what does this mean? How does this look like? Okay, gawa natin. No? The COMELEC imposed a regulation which states that private security agencies must secure a permit with the COMELEC for their workers to carry firearms during election period. Okay, ano lang, no? Simple lang. No? Tandaan nyo, pag election period, may gun ban. Bawal magdala ng baril, no? So, di ka pwedeng nakikita may dala-dalang baril, no? Kahit na meron kang license to own and possess, no? At saka meron kang permit to carry. Saan natin makakuha yung permit to carry? Saka license to own and possess firearms, ha? Police, sa PNP, no? Pupunta ka ng krami for that. Kung maging lawyer na kayo, alam niyo yung mga ganyan, no? Kasi, well, no? Malamang kakailanganin natin ng firearm, no, to defend ourselves. Okay. So, eto po kasing ABC Corporation, private security agency siya. Ngayon, aside from getting a permit from, syempre sa krami, aside from getting ano dun sa aside from getting permits there, license there, kailangan daw mag-secure pa sila ng another permit sa COMELEC during election period. So another permit na naman. So inassail po ng ABC Corp, a private security agency, yung constitutionality of this regulation. Hindi dapat yan kasi dapat hingi lang kami sa police, sabi ganyan, o sa militar, o whoever, no? Dapat hindi po dapat kasali COMELEC dito at hindi naman peace and order, 'di ba? Ang sabing ganyan katungkulan ng COMELEC, okay? Administering elections ang katungkulan ng COMELEC. Okay. So, ang hirap is the election has already ended, but the petition was still pending resolution. Should the court resolve, ba't ba yan, capital C. Should the court resolve the issue raised by ABC Corp despite its mootness? Moot na kasi yung issue, di ba? Nilagay ko na lang dyan, mootness, no? Diniretso ko na. Kasi tapos na nga yung election. Di ba? So ano pang, di ba? Basically, dati justiciable controversy siya nung election period. Aba, it's an actual case. Dapat daw may permit ka pang hihingin sa COMELEC o wala, di ba? May conflict of legal rights between yung COMELEC at the rights. Opposition of claims na lang. Ang claim ng COMELEC, dapat mag-secure ng permit. Ang claim ng ABC Corp, hindi dapat kasi iba na to eh, baril to eh, no? Hindi naman na to election, sabing ganyan, no? Okay, may actual case or controversy. It's not conjectural, it's not anticipatory. Pag sinabi mo kasing anticipatory, paparating pa lang. Dito, dumating na kasi election period na eh. Diba? Kung before election period yan, we can say na wala pang actual case. Kasi wala pang, hindi, ina-anticipate pa lang. Conjectural pa lang, no? Malayo pa, basically. Ay, ngayon, ito na nga, election period na, so actual case na siya. However, it ceased to have a justiciable controversy because tapos na election. Ano pa yung pinaglalaban natin? Di ba? Tapos na. Pwede, hindi mo na kailangan ng permit sa COMELEC, basically. Tala ng election eh. However, should the court resolve this case, despite it being both, the answer is yes. Because it is capable of evading yet repeating review. Ito po yung hinango natin yan, no? Inspired yan by this case. Okay, I just made it simpler kasi medyo mahaba yung facts normally no sa mga kaso. So how is it evading? O to. Ito pa yung isa yung inaano sa akin no. Basically hinahanap sa akin no. Ano yung analysis. Analysis bakit siya naging evading, bakit siya naging repeating. It is evading kasi the duration was too short. The challenge action election period, it's too short to be fully litigated upon by the court. Tapos sa election, wala na, evading. 'Di ba? The election period is too short. It takes, 'di ba? Sometimes it takes years bago ma-resolve ang kaso, no? So it's too short. Election period, ilang buwan lang naman 'yan. Okay? So, ito naman next. Is this capable of repetition? Yes. Kasi next election period ganun ulit. O after 3 years. Sabihin natin, wag natin i-factor in yung barangay, no, election. Sabihin natin ano na lang, national election. Every 3 years 'yan. O de these 3 years, o tapos na election na to. O wala na uling issue kasi may nanalo na, no? Tapos na, election. Eh, after 3 years, meron ulit, babalik ulit yan. So, in 3 years' time, yung same petitioner, magpapile na naman ng petition. Kasi there is reasonable expectation that in the next election period, sa susunod na election, masasubject na naman sila sa permit ng COMELEC. See? So, kailangan siyang i-resolve. Despite it being moot. Kasi it is capable of evading yet repeating review. Bigyan ko kayo ng another example ulit, no? The Department of Transportation and Communication, ito sarili ko na to ha. Wala na tong kaso. It's me, no? The Department of Transportation and Communication promulgated an order, no? Pagpalang promulgated, issued which states that the social media app X, no, yung Twitter, will be banned in the Philippines. No? For some reason, ibaban daw yung X sa Philippines. Mr. A user of X, filed a petition assailing the constitutionality of this order by the department. Okay, so, okay. Before the petition was resolved by the court, the department made a subsequent order lifting the ban of X in the Philippines. Basically, bago po man ma-resolve yung petition po, sabi ng department, o sige, papayagan na namin ulit mag-operate sa Philippines ang X. Basically, nag-change siya ng stance. Nagkaroon ng 180 flip, 180 degrees flip. No? Dati, ban natin ngayon, hindi na. Pwede na ulit, in other words. Tanong, moot and academic na ba issue? Yes. Wala na. Dati may actual case or controversy kasi binan yung X. Okay? Conflict of legal rights yan, di ba? Claims. Sabi nito isa, the department, iba natin. Sabi nito isa, wag po. For some reason, freedom of speech, no? Property rights, and so on. Okay. Yan. Pero it ceased. Why did it cease? To have an actual case or controversy, to have a justiciable controversy because nagkaroon na ng subsequent order. Wala ng issue. It is already moot. Ngayon, is this capable of repeating yet evading review? Okay? Unang-una, evading yan ulit. Bakit? Too short a period eh. Hindi pa na-resolve nung, di ba? Too short a period ulit. Why? Kasi hindi pa man nare-resolve yung petition, nag-backtrack na yung department. Di ba? Nag-backtrack na siya agad, no? So it's too short. The action, the order happened in too short of a time to be fully litigated upon by the Supreme Court. See? Kita nyo? Di ba lahat evading yan? Kasi kung hindi evading yan, ang pangit ng magiging tanong, hindi ba? Parang, hala, di ba? Why are we factoring evading yet repeating review? Why are we repeating yet evading review? Why are we still factoring this? Kung hindi naman pala, kung meron pa naman pa ng actual case or controversy, di ba? So likely, ang magiging tanong sa atin sa repeating, no? So, ngayon, is this challenged action repeating, capable of repeating review? The answer is no. Uulitin ko ano po ang reasoning natin dito. Ano po ang kailangan natin tingnan sa repeating? Reasonable expectation. Reasonable expectation. So, kailangan natandaan natin yung salitang reasonable. Reasonable bang isipin that X, the social media app X, will be subjected to the same order in the future? Banning it from operating in the Philippines. Meron bang reasonable expectation? The answer is no. Why? Kasi mismo department na nag-ban sa kanila, ibinalik na nga sila sa operations eh. So how is it reasonable for you to expect na mababan kayo ulit in the future? That is conjectural. Yan. That is hypothetical. Who are you to say na ibaban ulit kayo in the future? You don't have any basis for that. 'Di ba? See? So ano po pinagkaiba ng first example and the second example? No? Bakit po yung una nating example, yung hinango sa kaso, why is it capable of repeating yet evading? Etong pangalawa kong example, hindi po siya capable of repeating yet evading review. Yung una po kasi, no? In the first example, the issue became moot outside of the acts of the COMELEC. Di ba? Nagi po siyang moot, hindi dahil sa action ng COMELEC, but dahil sa panahon. Hindi na po kasi eleksyon. Okay, quotable quotes na naman ako, no? Rhyming na naman yung sinabi ko. Di ba? That happened, it just so happens na natapos yung eleksyon, pero hindi po dahil sa action ng COMELEC. On the other hand, yung second example natin, it became moot because of the subsequent act of the department itself. So how can you reasonably expect na mag-subject ka ulit to the same action in the future? Eh, mismong tao, mismong departamento, yung mismo mga pinuno dyan, nag-backtrack na nga sila. Yung isa, walang backtrack dito. Kung hindi natin i-resolve yan, sa susunod na election period, meron ulit. So inside, outside. Isa, di pala, within. No? Within the acts. Yung una nating example, without the act of the COMELEC, naging moot. Yung una, with the act of the department naging moot. Yun po ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa. So, bakit naging repeating yung isa? Kasi, we're talking about period, not the act of the body. Di ba? Nakita nyo, ganyan po, no? That's how, ganun nyo siya i-analyze, no? Ba't po ganito yung pag-a-analyze ko dito, no? Kasi this is common sense, this is, logic. Logic lang, no? Nakakuha nyo ba sa kasi ganito? Hindi. Sinasabi ko lang sa inyo yung how my brain works, no? Huwag nyo sasabihin to rin sa bar, ha? Yung mga ganyang, ito mga dialogue ko na to. Hindi nyo kailangan sabihin yan, okay? Ano lang, hanggang dito lang tayo. No, because there is no reasonable expectation that the same complaining party would be subjected to the same action, no? Why? Kasi the department already lifted the ban. So how can we expect that it will again proceed with the ban? Or it will again impose a ban later on? Hindi natin. That's how you should answer that. Ito lang po ako, no? This is how my brain works lang so that I can make sense of things. Yun lang naman tayo eh. How can I make sense of things? Bakit yung una, yes, yung pangalawa, no? Bakit yung una, no, yung pangalawa, yes? You just have to make sense of things for yourself. Maybe sa inyo, iba yung way of understanding nyo bakit yung una, capable of repeating it, evading, yung pangalawa, hindi. Maybe you thought about it differently. Pero ito lang po kasi yung para sa akin. That's how I make it easier for myself. I have to make it easier for myself like this one.